Hello guys, it's Randall with BitRaged. So what's going on with Bitcoin? We just had a spike of $1,000 basically in 30 minutes, which is very interesting because we haven't been making any progress here for days. So we have to look at some facts here, we have to look at the chart, what's going on, but there is some interesting stuff outside of the chart that you may want to look at as well. So let's just break this down really quickly, the falling wedge, because I know there's some people that are going to say, well, we told you it's a falling wedge, which is a bullish signal. Traditionally, a falling wedge is considered a bullish signal. Usually above 60% of the time, a falling wedge will break out bullish. That's just a fact. And you can even do a mathematical equation to figure out how much it should break out to. The reason why it is not always a bullish signal is because there's other factors. So you have to look at the environment and the sentiment in the market. And when you add all that in, we were leaning bearish over bullish. But we did break out bullish out of the wedge. We are completely out. We've closed on the daily, and we have another bullish candle as well. So we're definitely outside of that for that falling wedge. There are a couple issues. So just looking at the chart itself, we can see we are coming up on our EMAs, which are going to act as resistance. We are coming up on areas in the 8,000s, which are definitely going to act as heavy resistance, and that's something we're going to need to look at. However, we have made significant progress. We have to ask ourselves a question: what happened? So to break out of a falling wedge like this is natural. It would natural to see that. To have it happen in 30 minutes is not natural. The volume that came in 30 minutes was not natural. It was not organic. And we have to be honest and understand that, because if you miss that, you might get yourselves caught in a trap. That being said, does that mean that we will not continue further up? It doesn't mean that. But we do have to be watchful here. So if we zoom out here, I have my falling wedge, which we've broken out of. But we also have our bearish channel. And we're still in that channel, and we will be in that channel basically till, I would say, to our Fibonacci line here, around 9,000, 9,100 would be the point where you could say, okay, we're starting to break out of that channel. So we're still bearish. We're still definitely very bearish, so we have to keep that in mind. I'm not downplaying the importance of a bullish breakout like this, but had it been actual natural organic volume, I would be much more excited about it, but it's not. There are some fishy things that happened before, during, and around this breakout, which definitely concern me, and I want to talk about them now. So this is the chart, the 30-minute chart for Bitcoin for Bitfinex, and I'm using Bitfinex in this video because Bitfinex actually instigated this movement. So the movement actually started with Bitfinex, but I believe there's a reason behind that. Bitfinex and Tether are in cahoots, and I know a lot of people have a hard time dealing with this subject, but you have to admit there are some serious issues with Tether. I was reading somebody's thoughts on Bitcoin on TradingView, and someone had commented below and had mentioned that on the 11th, Tether pulled 40 million Tether from the market and then reinserted them back into the market, reintroduced them at some point after that. And I thought, that's interesting. And this was, I believe, on the 11th. We had this happen on the 12th. And I'm not the world's greatest mathematician here, but I did some figuring based on the volume and averaging the price in this candle for the 30-minute candle here, the big large spike from 6,900 to 7,700 basically. I found out something very interesting. It averages out to about $40 million worth of Bitcoin, or which would be 40 million Tether, because Tether is pegged at around $1. Is it coincidence? I don't know. But I do know there's something fishy going on here. You don't have that kind of a 30-minute spike. I mean, this is totally not natural. A couple other things we have to look at, and then I want to talk about what actually happened here as part of this spike and why it's not natural, just besides Tether, not even just Tether, but also shorting. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to show you some things about Tether that I think are kind of interesting. So if we go to CoinMarketCap, you can see the circulating supply, which is about 2,287,000,000. Interestingly, you go to Google Cash for April 12th, which is yesterday, and it's 2,227,000,000, which is about a difference of 60 million Tether. So Tether is definitely moving around here. There's definitely something going on with Tether. Now look at this. So this shows the Tether balances. It's not Tether being printed, but it's Tether movement. And you look at Bitfinex, here is 152 million is the balance. They've removed it, the remark, interestingly, but this is Bitfinex. So if you take that 152 million and you subtract that from this 59 million, you get around 93 million. Now, I don't know what the significance of that is, but I do know that there is definitely something going on. Something's been going on over the last 2 days with Tether movement. Now, I am not seeing where any was printed, but these guys aren't stupid. They realized that would catch up really quickly to the news, and that wouldn't look really good. So perhaps they are inflating the market in another way just by moving Tether around. I don't know how or if that is what's going on, but I do know it's suspicious. It's very suspicious to all of a sudden see this movement, and it corresponds to a movement in Bitcoin price. And this is not the first time we've seen Tether move Bitcoin price. Part of the spike to 20,000 and the attempt to hold it was Tether. So there's also this news article, this Polish news article, where basically the Polish government raided this bank, seized, I believe it's 270 million euro, and it is associated with a Bitfinex shell company, which is Crypto Capital Corporation. Now, you read this, there's a lot of people who don't want to believe that that's true, and I will admit that we don't have all the facts surrounding this. We don't know everything that's going on with this, but we do know that Bitfinex has a shell in this bank, and we do know that they held that amount of money. We also do know that it was a cryptocurrency exchange that was involved in this takedown where the money was seized from. Now, it's highly unlikely that there were any other crypto exchanges with that kind of money in the same Polish branch. So the facts kind of lead to, most likely, it was the Bitfinex shell that got taken down here. So there's definitely some suspicious activity surrounding this move up. And if you could say that this activity has been going on for the past several weeks, then maybe it wouldn't be so significant. But it crops up right around the same time we have this big burst. It's a little suspicious, and it starts to make you wonder if there are definitely links here to Tether and why we had this price move. Now, I told you I was going to explain what happened with the shorts. So because we've been in a bearish trend and we've been heading down, and because we finally did hit a double bottom, we were coming close to a double bottom, a lot of people started believing that we were going to go lower. And because of that, there was a ton of shorts accumulating, a ton of them. And a lot of people were believing that it was definitely going to go back down. As the price jumped literally in 30 minutes, what happened was we basically liquidated a ton of shorts, a large amount of shorts, a massive amount, which if you don't understand margins and shorting the market, basically what happens is you can get a margin call and you don't have enough money in your account to hold that and continue to play the market and say, well, I think it went up a little bit, but I do think it's still going to go back down soon. Well, if you don't have the money to back up that, your account gets liquidated. So you lose everything. And we had a ton of what I would call medium to small investor accounts. And when I say small, I'm talking anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million invested. These guys were just liquidated. Millions of dollars liquidated. These just gone. And you have to wonder if this was a game played very smoothly by Bitfinex, moving the market with Tether, maybe a few other things, liquidating the shorts, making a ton of money off from liquidating those shorts. And you have to ask the question, what's the next move? What's the next game plan here? Is the next plan that they feel like they're getting close to being taken down, is the plan to inflate Bitcoin to a price high enough that they can actually exit the market with a bunch of people's money? I don't know that that's what's going on. I know that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but there's reason to believe that that is possibly what's going on. The other thing that could be going on is this move up could have been an orchestrated move to clean out the shorts, build up sentiment for Bitcoin, get a bunch of people going along on Bitcoin, then drop it like a hot potato and clear out all those longs. Just basically purge the market. It's possible. You can make a lot of money as an exchange liquidating. You can make a ton of money. So if you're manipulating, which I fully believe Bitfinex does because of their involvement in Tether, that could be the game plan. Liquidate the shorts, get people going long, liquidate the longs, drop it like a hot potato. That happens, we could hit 3,000, we could hit 2,600 because it would really destroy the market. And if that happens and Tether goes down, we could be headed back down to $1,000. Now that's a lot of ifs. That is not the guaranteed, end here. And I'm not trying to scare everyone into believing that is definitely what's going to happen, but I'm trying to give you, the possibilities. It's definitely a possibility. Tether is under investigation, and if you know anything about the U.S. government doesn't send out letters saying, hey, in a couple months, we're taking down Bitfinex if you want to get your money out. No, you're going to wake up and the news is going to say Bitfinex was seized and your money's going to be gone. They're not giving it back to you. It's going to be gone. So be careful about using Tether as your safe house. I'd be careful about that. I'd be careful about using the Bitfinex exchange. I don't have any money in Bitfinex right now because I don't trust it. And I'd be very careful about that. I don't have money in Tether. I will not use Tether. I think it's way too risky right now. I think you could put money into risky alts and have more security. So let's just talk quickly here before I close this out about the possibilities here. So we're coming up on our EMAs, which is basically 8,300. We have the possibility to hit that. If we break through that, then we're looking at a run up to 87, 89, possibly 9,000 to test that level. But most likely we're going to get stonewalled at 88, 8,900. Most likely that is what would happen, especially considering we have an EMA in that range as well. So it'd be heavy resistance. We know 9,000 is heavy resistance, and we also have our bearish trend line coming down somewhere in that area around 93, 92, 9100. Depends on when we get there. The daily, obviously that's going to change. So yes, we could continue this run up if Tether continues to be manipulating the market. It is possible that this bullish trend will continue, but the question is it sustainable? So I do not anticipate us being able to break through 9,000 unless they print more Tether, but we have to see how it plays out. So if we hit that resistance, we have to see what happens as we hit it. We have to watch for a reversal. If things are being manipulated, it's unlikely the reversal is going to happen yet, because most likely the play would be to boost the market up, to boost the sentiment and get buyers back into the market before dropping it again. So, and because I do believe it is being manipulated right now, specifically by Bitfinex, I do believe that they are at least looking at 9,000 to get the market. Potentially, they're looking to go back up to 12,000. It's hard to say what the plan is for them, but what we do know is they have a lot to work with Tether. You can move the market with Tether. And so be careful out there. I am trying to play this market and make some money on it. So if you feel comfortable doing that, just be careful, because you could get yourself in trouble. If you are margin trading, be careful. You could get really hurt in this market right now. If you're interested in margin trading, don't do cryptocurrency margin trading right now. You're going to kill yourself. You're really going to wipe your bank account out. You'd be better off going into Forex margin trading. I would not recommend margin trading cryptocurrency right now. It's a very dangerous place to be right now. And there are a ton of smart traders. On the 10th and 11th, there was a few very smart traders that were telling people to get out of margin trading with cryptocurrency. I didn't really catch on to that until this happened on the 12th, but there's some people that knew that this was coming. I was not one of them. I did not anticipate this. It took me by surprise because it's not a natural movement. 30 minutes for $1,000 it's a historical point for Bitcoin. It really is. But I think, like I said, it is manipulated. So anyways, I want to cut this short. It's already a long video, but I hope that kind of summarizes what happened in the market. If you still are confused on how the shorts got liquidated and that doesn't really make sense to you, I can do a short video explaining exactly how margin trading works and why shorts can get liquidated, why that happens, and how an exchange that is not regulated could manipulate and benefit from that. So if that is something that interests you, just shoot a comment below and say, hey, I'd like to understand that better. It doesn't make sense to me. And I will get a video out to you probably Sunday or Monday on that. I'd be happy to do that, happy to explain that if there's an interest. But there's no reason to do a video if there's not the interest. So let me know. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. We'll try to get to them. If you have any thoughts, you've seen anything interesting, any articles or videos that correspond with what we're seeing, and you want to share that, drop it below. We'll take a look at it. We do get a lot of comments, so if we don't get back to you, it's not because we're ignoring you, but we do try our best to respond to each comment. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give it a like. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We have been giving consistent, factual, unbiased information on Bitcoin over the past few months. And if you appreciate that, make sure you stay subscribed because we will continue to do that for you guys. Please share these videos on your social media. We do appreciate that as well. Thanks so much for all your support, guys, and take care.